You mention him. Where are we on Ivan Toney?
It's amazing because the price tag keeps falling. Right now, people are talking 35 million.
Wow.
Again, it's a similar thing. If you're Chelsea and you've embarked on this plan of very young players on low wages, relatively low wages, if this is your business model, where does Toney fit? I don't think he does at all. Brentford have been shopping around really everywhere. It's been going on all summer. Obviously, he hasn't, he's been training, but he hasn't been playing with the first team. He's also been linked to Saudi, like everybody else. It's a tough situation for him, and I think for Brentford as well, because they were banking on that money.
You make it all, Craig?
Not a lot.
No.
In what sense?
It just from whatever sense you want to take it from. Do you want to take it from a player's perspective, from a Chelsea perspective?
I would sincerely hope those two players mentioned don't venture to Saudi Arabia. I think it'd just be a huge waste. And I think, as Gab said, Osimhen is fighting, certainly from his perspective, to be at a top club in Europe. That's obviously maybe not going to help Napoli as much, but from a player's perspective. And Chelsea Chelsea, again, the financial side apart, Chelsea need a striker. Nico Jackson did a very good job at the weekend, but can he do that consistently? So, again, with these transfer windows, it's so frustrating, isn't it? Season starts, managers try to work the squad, and Brentford don't know if they're going to have a player or not. Chelsea don't know if they're getting the striker in. Osimhen's out of the window at Napoli. They've brought Lukaku in. He doesn't know where he's going. It just leaves everybody up in the air. It's a very frustrating system around this time of the year, in my opinion.
Ivan Toney must be wondering what's going on.
Why are you whispering?
Wasn't he about 80 million to Arsenal last year?
I didn't mean to whisper.
Wasn't he double that to Arsenal last year?
Yep.
Yeah, he was.
Double that. Yeah.
Do you think
in the January transfer
Brentford
window,
were asking?
Here's the only thing I can come up with. Do you think that it's the way that Brentford play that are putting teams off Ivan Toney? Because in terms of output, there's no question he's proven he can score goals in the Premier League. But the way that Brentford play, plenty of early balls forward, high balls in the box. Nobody else plays like Brentford.
Right.
So the only thing I can think of is your Arsenals, your Chelseas, or all the other supposed top teams think he just doesn't fit into how they go about it. Because it can't be anything else. When you've got the record of scoring goals in the Premier League that he has, you would think somebody would be. And 35 million as well. So it doesn't really add up, but that's all I can come up with.
Away from strikers, Gab, let's talk about a couple that could be leaving Chelsea, Sterling and Chilwell. Both to Manchester United?
That's been mooted, but then our reporting at ESPN suggests that United not really big on them. Again, these are players that you see the wages there. These are enormous wages. These were signed. These are players whose new contracts were done sort of before Chelsea embarked on this new sort of campaign of young players and lower wages back in January 2023. So they don't really fit. I don't really see that happening, frankly, either one, because obviously, certainly with Chilwell, at United, Shaw will be back one day, theoretically, maybe Malacia too, when you've got Diogo Dalla as well. Raheem Sterling, I think, would be an interesting one, but if anything, United seem to have a glut of wingers, including, a former England international of their own, who they're trying to shift in Jadon Sancho.
Indeed, we'll talk about Sancho in a moment.
It's a competition to see who gets the worst wide player. or the most expensive of the worst wide players.
Those wages are incredible,
they're not the worst wide players, but we're talking about some of the most expensively paid players who are underperforming. Certainly Jadon Sancho.
If United, do you push for any of those two?
No, absolutely not. I think United do have a problem at left back. I think there is a big concern about Luke Shaw, the amount of injuries he continues to pick up. Malacia has been injured as well. Obviously, Diogo Dallo can play either fullback now that Mazraoui's there. But I do think there is a big concern about Luke Shaw's ability to stay fit. I think if he's fit, obviously, clearly he's a very strong player. But he just seems to have a continuation of a problem after a problem after a problem. And I really don't see where getting Jadon Sancho out the door to Chelsea in a swap and then bringing in another, I'm not going to say problematic player, but inconsistent player, I just don't see how, as a long-term strategy with this new United hierarchy, how that sort of fits into to look into the future.
Neither of them should be going anywhere near United.
Right.
You know, all the things Craig's talking about Luke Shaw, you can point a finger at Chilwell.
Yep.
So you've already got a problem there. Why'd you bring another one in? And the only way Raheem Sterling is playing football after this window's closed is if he really loves the game and wants to take a huge pay cut. Because nobody's paying him 325 grand a week. And we will find out after a couple of months whether he's bothered about playing football really or whether he's just going to take the money. That's what's going to happen.